Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at Lucid. Lucid share price is going absolutely crazy. So I've already made a video on this subject, but I wanted to make a follow-up video. What if this deal is real? What if it actually goes through? What happens to Lucid? What happens if Lucid becomes a private company? Let's not forget that it was in 2018 that Elon Musk wanted to take Tesla private at $420 a share. He wanted to take the company private. His main reason for taking the company private is because whenever there's big decisions to make within the company, it's generally easier to make those decisions if the company is a private company. However, if the company is a publicly held company, well, you have to deal with a lot more criticism, and the actual idea that you'd like to implement, it could take a lot longer, or it could never. Too many people own the company. Too many people have a say within the company. If it's private, less people have ownership of the company. It's easier to get things done. So how does this connect to Lucid? Could this be the reason why they want to buy out Lucid? Well, let's get an understanding of what they stand to benefit. Does Lucid stand to benefit? And does the Saudi Arabia investment firm stand to benefit as well? How do they both stand to benefit? Because I don't think we retail investors stand to benefit. We don't really stand to benefit because Lucid hasn't really achieved anything yet. It hasn't really earned any big returns yet, except for on Friday, of course, when the share price almost doubled, came back down to around 48%. Now, the Saudi investment firm is already a major shareholder. They hold about 65% of the company. So in other words, they own the company. Now, I don't know if they have a majority vote within the company, but they do own majority of the company so far. So a takeover by the investment firm could make sense for both parties. Now, I'll always say this is not financial advice. This is just for educational purposes and for entertainment. So on Friday, Lucid Group saw its share price soared by as much as 75% on the back of a report of a potential bid from Saudi Arabia investment fund. The Lucid stock pulled back to some degree. However, shares are still currently trading at 40% from the previous day closing price. Now, let me just say, I'm making this video on Sunday morning, Saturday night. So shares market have been closed since Friday. It's going to be really interesting on Monday to see what happened. But based on my own reports, there was a time that the Lucid share was up at least at 98%, almost 100%, almost doubled in one day. So how could a takeover make sense? So the Saudi Arabia PIF is the country's sovereign wealth fund worth hundreds of billions of dollars. The fund thus surely has required means to buy Lucid, which traded with a market cap of around 16 billion prior to the rumors. Since then, the market cap have exploded to around 22-23 billion dollars. Now, Saudi Arabia is currently generating a large portion of its gross domestic products, such as even bigger portion of government income from oil, products and sales. While that industry is doing very well, the current environment, the current leadership has goals of diversifying economy over time. This makes sense as oil revenues will likely not be this high forever. And that's true. Lithium, electricity, that's becoming the big thing for electric vehicles. Oil is becoming ancient. We predicted that we would run out of oil, but in reality, it turns out we're running out of time to change our bad habits to produce cleaner energy and cleaner environmental impacts. So the Saudi investment firm is also invested in more down-to-earth assets, however, which include Lucid Group. So the investment firm, what benefits, what value are they seeing in Lucid long-term? Do they want that vehicle to be a staple of their country? So question is, does Lucid, the pure electric company, do they make sense as a partner for the Saudi Arabia's investment firm? Now, it's interesting to add, one of the biggest benefits is that Lucid right now is an overvalued company, but at the same time, it's an undervalued company. It's weird. Why is Lucid overvalued? Well, they're not producing nearly enough vehicles to be valued at $22 billion. Not even nearly enough. And another question, why are they undervalued? Well, they're undervalued because of their IP, their actual ownership of the Lucid brand, the Lucid car, what that brand stands for. The brand actually has a lot of power, especially in the luxury EV market. The brand is actually very popular amongst fans. The brand is becoming more and more well known. They're just not producing enough vehicles. If Lucid was producing enough vehicles, they could easily compete with Tesla with the kind of crowd that they're drawing. Not to mention, Lucid has a luxury feel to their brand, kind of like Porsche, which is they're basically a premium brand. So this adds even more value to Lucid as a company. Seriously, premium in the lines of Porsche. That's how I see Lucid. I see it as a premium company, very much similar to Porsche. Not to mention their intellectual property, the car, the design, their other asset that they have that they haven't released yet, other car ideas that they might have. These do hold value. How much? We don't know exactly. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that long-term Lucid has huge potential, but short-term, they're not doing enough to be valued at 22 billion. But long-term, that company could easily be turned into the next Apple of electric cars. Now, while a takeover bid is far from guaranteed, it would make sense from the investment firm side. The fund already owns a majority percentage, that's one. Seeing Lucid as attractive as shown by recent purchases, the company and the country are already aligned and would work on manufacturing facility in Saudi Arabia, and Lucid fit the investment firm goals for moving into new high growth market and to expand their portfolio and diversify their investment, manufacturing and business equity and business portfolio. This would put them in the auto industry, in the electric field, in the electric industry. This one single move by the investment firm could help revolutionize Saudi Arabia and their push. Because it's one thing that Tesla's done. Tesla has really changed what it means to be an electric vehicle company or an automaker company. What are they doing? They're producing batteries. They're producing storage system for your house and for grid. Tesla is not just an electric vehicle company, they're an energy company, a utility company at the same time. How beneficial could this be in Saudi Arabia, a place where the sun pops up almost every day? In fact, it is every day, I believe. Solar panels, the need for electricity. There's a huge amount of land across Saudi Arabia. What about lithium mining? I don't think there's an abundance of lithium in Saudi Arabia. However, lithium can almost be found anywhere. It's a matter of refining it and building the facilities that takes time. So this one single move could be the important step for the country, push them towards revolutionizing their country as a technology-based country, focusing not just on electric cars, but manufacturing, EV batteries, getting more involved in the energy field, self-driving technology. The list is unlimited with just a little car company. There's much that can be done. Isn't Tesla working on a Tesla bot? Isn't Tesla working on a Tesla robot? Yes, they are. So the only thing that's limiting them is their imagination. With the amount of funds that this investment firm has with a company like Lucid, whom I do believe can attract the right employees, especially since it's an American company based in America, can attract the right employees to innovate, bring that innovation back to Saudi Arabia, where the investment firm is based. I can see a lot of benefits for the country. So why would they buy an American car brand that's manufacturing in America, wants to manufacture in Saudi Arabia as well? A company that can easily hire a lot of engineers and other people who are very important to technological movements. Yeah, I can see a lot of benefits. Now, if they do buy this company, one thing that you have to consider is that if they buy out all of the shares, they could simply just take it private. Given that the company is cheap, in my opinion, I mean, it is overvalued based on their deliveries, but based on their other assets, it can be seen as cheap. I mean, 22 billion. Say if they were to buy this company, it would change a lot. I think for us retail investors, we would not like that very much. But we're seeing these companies. Shell bought Volta the other day. Volta is much smaller than Lucid. Volta is not well known, but Volta was perhaps the only electric vehicle charging company that was providing free charging for advertisement. So they were doing something very different, and now Blink Charging is going into the advertisement business. Very smart. I do like that. But my point is, Shell buying Volta, they're buying all of the remaining shares. That company will become private. They'll probably turn into Shell. They probably won't even keep Volta as the name. They'll probably transfer the IPs all towards Shell technology. Could it be a similar case with this, And of course, because they already own such a big percentage within the company, I'm guessing they have things they want this company to do. They have things that they want to implement. It would be way easier if they had 100% ownership of this company, all the votes, all the shares. And given that Lucid is an American company, this just opens up them to a wide field of employees and opportunities to explore in the technological field, in the electric car field, in the energy field, in the lithium mining, battery components, manufacturing field. So while it would be interesting to see this happen, it wouldn't be good for us. People like us, we would be forced to sell our shares. We won't be able to own part of the company anymore, which means that we won't benefit when this company does well in the future. And Lucid has potential. It can do very good in the future. But if we're forced to sell our shares, we're kind of screwed. Something that I add, that SpacPig post on Twitter, is that anyone else noticed that Betterville editor didn't tweet anything about Lucid. Literally has no connection to Lucid Motor or the Saudi PIF. Just saying. Yeah, it is very interesting. It is very interesting indeed. It does make it suggest that there could be more that's going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about yet. It feels like that. It feels like there's definitely something going on, and it will happen eventually. It will most likely happen. They will most likely buy Lucid. It's going to be a sad time for Lucid shareholders, but it's probably going to happen. But listen, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in our next video. Peace.